What's up, guys? It's your boy Ace, and today we're going to be going over a lethal passing scheme out of the Saints, Panthers, and Texans playbooks. So if you use either of those three playbooks, you are good to go. You have access to all of these plays. The formation is going to be gun empty Y Saint. If you're using the Panthers or the Texans, it'll be gun empty Y Texan, gun empty Y Panther. Just look for a formation that looks like this. You will find it. If you're using a custom, you might have a little bit more problems finding it. I know they name things a little bit differently, but look for a formation that looks like this. It'll be a gun empty formation. But if you have any problems finding it, let me know in the comment section. Before I get into the actual breakdown, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a Google Docs in the description, which is going to provide you with all the setups. I do recommend watching this video all the way through at least one time. That's going to help you utilize this scheme to its fullest potential. After you watch the video, you can refer to the Google Docs. You don't have to watch the video again unless you really want to. But let's just get right into it. So we're going to talk about the custom audibles first. So let's go to this formation. We're going to hit LT or L2. And these are going to be your plays. Y stick, Saints clearouts, Saints goes whip, and Saints drags. So let's get right into Y stick. Okay, so we're in Y stick, and this is going to be your everything beater. This is going to beat literally everything, and it's the easiest play I've ever ran, because you're only reading two guys. All you're going to do is out route X, out route A, slant RB, and then for every single setup, well, not every single setup, but most of them, we're going to be motioning this guy in a step, which is RB. So you're going to highlight him by hitting B or circle and holding it down and using your left stick to move around until you're on RB. And you're going to be reading RB and Y. That's all you got to do. It's a high-low read over the middle. Whichever one the user takes, you throw to the other one. Let's go to instant replay. Both of these routes are going to beat man coverage. And I'll run this a few times just to show you that it does beat every coverage. So right here, both guys, you can see the sharp post route does get separation versus man. And that's going to be throwable in just a second after he passes that guy in the middle. But we have such a big void underneath that it's easy to throw to him, and we have a big gain for about 30 yards. Same setup, out route X, out route A, slant RB, motion RB in a step. And you're going to see we have this post wide open. Very, very easy play. Like legit, it can't get any easier than this. And it's super effective. You can use this multiple times a game. Your opponent's really going to have a hard time stopping this play, even if he uses man coverage, just because both of these routes do get separation versus man. And just like that, that is going to be Y stick. The next play is going to be Saints clear outs, and this is your Tampa 2 or a cover 2 zone bomb. And it does beat other coverages as well. But the main point of this is if you know they're in Tampa 2, you can bomb them with this very easily. So the setup is going to be X on a comeback, B on a comeback, drag A, slant RB. We'll motion RB in a second, but just to break down the play a little bit, Y is going to be the route that gets open versus cover 2 for a one-play touchdown. X and B are not reads, ever. You're not going to ever throw to them. All you're going to do is throw to either Y, A, or RB. So I already know it's cover 2. And what you're going to see is we get wide open for a touchdown. The only thing that's going to prevent this is if they have their middle linebacker in a deep blue. A mid-read isn't going to play it because the mid-read has to play the strong side, and the post is not on the strong side, or the angled post is not strong side. And the safeties are just so far out because of the comebacks. And we have a wide open lane. It doesn't matter what the zone coverage rating is. That's going to be a touchdown. So versus other coverages, I'll briefly go against that, just to show you what my progressions might be versus like a random defense that I don't know what it is. So we'll do Saints clear outs if I can find it. Random play, same setup versus everything. So this is obviously not cover 2. I'm going to read the drag first. And you have the slant coming right behind it. That angled post route is going to get under deep zones in general. So right here, this is like clearly man coverage. So either going to throw to any of those routes. All three of them could beat man coverage. Drag's going to get open a lot because he can't get pressed. And sometimes the linebacker will be on him, so it's going to be really hard to keep up with him. Right here, let's just ignore this because it's quarter street deep. Not a good example. Same setup versus everything, so this is some kind of blitz. So read your drag first. Okay, it's covered 2. I'm surprised this linebacker kept up with him. I don't know how that was even possible. So I guess he matched to him, but that's usually going to be wide open. I wouldn't worry about that. So I want you to check out this instant replay. This is actually a really good example of what a user might do. So the user is going to have to pick one of these two, the drag and the slant. You can see that we'll pretend that this guy right here is the user, bites down on the drag. Once he bites down on the drag, it's literally impossible for him to get to the slant if you throw it in time. So we threw it perfectly. User will have no chance of defending both of those. So that's going to be Saints clear outs. The next play is going to be Saints goes whip. And all I really like to do on this play is streak Y and drag X. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind, if they're playing a lot of man coverage, you really don't need to call this play, because the only thing that's going to get open versus press man is the deep crosser, and that's super easy to defend as a user. And if you put curl flats from the safeties, this play is going to be very, very bagged. But if your opponent's playing zone coverage, this play is definitely very good. So all we're going to do is, like I said, streak Y, drag X, and we're going to motion RB in a step. One thing I will say is sometimes the outside fade from B will get open versus cover 3 that you can throw to the outside if it's backed off coverage. In this case, it is backed off, so I will read him for a brief second and see if I can throw him. So just like this, that's going to be open versus backed off coverage if a curl flat doesn't play him. So let's go to instant replay. When it's backed off coverage, we're going to look at this guy, the slot cornerback. In this case, I knew he was blitzing, so he couldn't be the curl flat. This guy, I don't think he can get over there fast enough because we're basically just throwing him immediately. And this outside cornerback, if you pay attention, he's getting sucked to the inside because of the fact that we have a seam route. That gives us a little bit of separation on the outside to throw this. And one more thing worth mentioning is he's on a special go route where it has a little move to the outside. If this is a normal streak, you cannot throw this. So do not think that you can do that with a different play. You need this route to make this work. All right, so it's press coverage now. So we're never going to look at B. B is no longer a read. We cannot throw what we just threw. Right here, I'm going to look to see if I can hit my seam throw to RB. If I can't, we have the high-low over the middle between A and X. So right here is a good example of why man coverage bags this play. The deep crosser usually does get open versus man, but it's not a good enough man-beating play to call it versus man coverage. One thing I didn't mention is B can be a read if he gets pressed and you have a speed advantage. In this case, I know I don't, so he's not a read for me. You only have 3 reads, RB, A, and X. Do it again. Usually he will get a little more separation than that. I do consider it a comfortable throw if it's not being usered. Right here, we have the same setup, backed off coverage. So we're going to look at B real quick, see if we can throw that. Didn't get a good pass lead on that, honestly. Wanted that to be a little bit more to the outside. Press coverage, so we can't throw that. Look at RB. Deep crosser is going to get over hook zones. I recommend throwing that before he gets to the sideline because you don't know what people are going to have their zone drop set to. Press coverage, can't look at B. Man coverage again, as you can see, everything's pretty much bagged. So that's the gist of the play. If you know your opponent's running a lot of zone, you can call this play. If they're running a lot of man, I really wouldn't ever call this play. The last play in the mini scheme is going to be Saints drags. And the thing I like about this play is it can bomb both cover 3 and cover 2. And the way I'm going to set it up is streak A. And that's technically all you have to do. I really don't like motioning in RB on this play. I know that's a tell. You can move him in if you want just to keep everything identical. But I kind of like him on his route and the depth it gets It allows us to have more of a high-low over the middle between X and RB. But your bomb is going to be A. A is going to beat cover 2 and cover 3. Well, cover 3 in some situations, which I'll go over in a second. But right now, this is cover 2. The reason that this works is because Y is on a special route that's going to bring the safety so far to the left that we can pass lead A to the left. You're going to see what happens is it's just easy pickings. Like I said earlier with, I think it was Saints Clearouts, if they have a deep blue from the middle linebacker, that is going to stop this setup. Like this is going to prevent the cover 2 bomb. Mid read will not stop this. As you can see, this guy right here is in a mid read. He doesn't really do anything. If he's manned up to the tight end, that will also stop it. And of course, if they use her the entire time, that will prevent the bomb as well. So keep all of those things in mind. And you'll see one more time. Very easy. No zone coverage is going to prevent that. So that's going to be this play versus cover 2. Let's go ahead and change gears, go to cover 3 real quick, and I'll show you what's going on with that. And you're going to see, go to Saints Drags, and I'll show you a couple different examples. So we'll do cover 3 Sky. All right, so here's the deal. The safety is in a middle third, and he's on our strong side, which is exactly what he should be doing. This is going to be more of a bomb if the safety is rotating from left to right. So what I mean is if there's 2 safeties in the back, like if they base a line or something, and the left side safety starts rotating into the middle third, that's when this can be a bomb. When he's on the strong side, it's going to be much harder, but I'll show you that you can throw it still. So I'll show you. We'll pass lead to the right. And the reason that this works is because we have this unique route on the outside, which is kind of like a corner that turns into a spot. And that allows the cornerback to basically get frozen for a second. But you have to time this right if the safety is going to be right here. So if the safety is right here, you have to throw it like this. Otherwise, you likely won't ever be able to bomb same side safety cover 3. I'll do it again just to show you. And the cornerback gets frozen for just a second. That allows us to time this perfectly and throw it, and the outside cornerback cannot make a play on it. One thing I will say is you can actually like legit bomb it if it's the cover 3 from the left side, like the middle third coming from the left side. I'm going to try to find you a good example of that. I'll have to probably come out in like $1 or something. So we'll do Saints Drags. And maybe this will be a better example. Cover 3 Sky Press. All right, so hopefully this is a better example. So you see how this is an actual bomb? I'll show you. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I know some of you guys are more visual learners. Some of you guys are new to the game, so you don't really understand what I'm talking about yet. But if you stick around the channel, I'll make sure you guys fully understand pretty much everything that comes out of my mouth. So this safety is the middle third safety in a cover 3. He's actually on the weak side in this case, which means he has to rotate to the middle from left to right, which means that this tight end is going to be open in the seam. This hook from the safety, this safety rolls down into a hook zone. He plays him for a second, but after he gets past him, we have all of this room. Look at all this room that we can pass lead into. This cornerback is going to be biting on this outside corner type route. And our tight end will be wide open for a touchdown. So just to wrap up this play and then wrap up this scheme in general, I will show you what it's like versus random plays. Okay, so just to show you versus random defenses how this play would work, you can motion RB in to like just keep everything identical, but I don't care if it's a tell. I'm going to leave him there because I just think the setup is better this way. But you're really just going to read him and X, really. If it ends up being a covered shell that's not covered 2 or covered 3. And I know that's not great, but I mean, you can also throw the seam route like we've done already for the streak. But those are basically the setups that I like out of this formation. So if there's any questions at all, by the way, I'll throw the B route real quick to show you what I'm talking about. See how it's a little bit sketchy? Now that was actually really good coverage from the cornerback. Usually you're going to get a little bit more separation than that. So I'll show you one more time. So right here, this is a little bit more accurate as to what I was talking about. But yeah, guys, that's the scheme. I hope you enjoyed it. I put some work into it. And if you liked it, please drop a like. That would give me good feedback as to if I should make more videos like this or if it was too drawn out. Comment any questions in regards to the scheme or what you would like to see moving forward. Subscribe for daily Madden 21 content. Don't forget that I have the doc in the description that you guys can refer to so you don't have to watch through this long ass video again. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.